Namaskar. On behalf of Radha Krishna Astro Services, once again I'm extremely happy to see you all. And first of all, thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed to my videos and those of you who have left very positive comments on us. And this class is definitely is an address to your comments. Some of you have asked how a planet is related to a bunch of stars. So today's class is exclusively going to focus on that. So let's go to the whiteboard and see what's that we have got in relationship to the planets and the stars. So from our previous classes, we have studied that there are 9 planets and 12 signs. Okay, today we are going to talk about how these 9 planets act in the zodiac through your horoscope. Without having an entity called stars, there is no point in talking about astrology. Okay, so let's talk about what are the stars that we in Vedic system of astrology or the stellar predictive astrology method of calculations we use. Okay, there are 27 stars and there are totally 9 planets. That is what we take into consideration. So simple second grade math. 27 divided by 9, 3. So each planet will be held responsible for 3 stars. And that is what we have presented here in the form of a grid. So we all know the sequence in which we go through the stars, right? So let's go through this sequence of stars first, and then we will talk about what all the how the stars have ownership with their planets. Okay? Aswini, Bharani, Kirtigai, Rogini, Mrigasira, Arudra, Punarvasu, Pushya, Aslesha. So this forms the first cluster of 9 stars. So each one of the 9 planets will have the responsibility, one each of these stars presented in column number 1. Now let's move on to column number 2, marked in blue color. We have Makha, Purva Falguni, Uttara Falguni, Hasta, Chitra, Swati, Vishaka, Anuradha and Jeshta. So this set of 9 planets, again, those 9 planets will have ownership of one of these stars listed here. Now let's move on to the third column, which is starting with Mula, Purvashada, Uttarashada, Shravana, Dhanishta, Satapisha, Purvabhadra, Uttarabhadra and Revati. So these 9 stars, again, 9 planets will have ownership with one of each of these stars. So on the far right hand corner, we have presented it in the form of a tabular form of planets and their relationship. So if you read the table across from left to right, you see Aswini, Makha and Mula. These 3 stars comes under the ownership of Ketu. Again, we have discussed in the earlier classes, Ketu is none other than a shadow planet, and it is said in some astrological literature that this one corresponds to the dragon tail. Bharani, Purva Falguni and Purvashada, these 3 stars come under the ownership of Shukra, and the English equivalent for Shukra is Venus. Kirtika, Uttara Falguni, Uttarashada, these 3 stars come under the ownership of Surya. The English equivalent of Surya is none other than our mighty sun. Rohini, Hasta, Shravana, these 3 stars come under the ownership of the beautiful soothing moon, or in Indian language, Chandra. Mrigasira, Chitra and Dhanishta, these 3 stars come under the ownership of Mangal, which is the Indian name for Mars. Arudra, Swati and Satabhisha are the stars owned by Rahu. Punarvasu, Vishaka, Purvabhadra are the stars owned by Guru, which is none other than Jupiter. My dear girl, can you say if Saturn has got any stars associated on its ownership?
Yeah, 3.
3 stars. Very good. You got a star performer here. Okay, can you read out from the table the stars that are owned by Saturn?
Sure. Pushya, Anuradha, and Uttarabhadra.
Excellent. Are there any other stars that we have left behind for today's discussion?
Yeah. The star's planet is Mercury, and the Indian name for that is Buddha, and the stars are Ashlesha, Jyeshta, and Revati.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so today's class we talked about the relationship of the planet and the three stars owned by each of the planets, right? A fourth grader is able to decipher this whiteboard and she is able to read out the stars and the planetary ownership. And so obviously you people, brilliant people watching the wonderful videos across many presenters in the YouTube, you will find this particular video a little more helpful. If you find it helpful, please leave more comments on my YouTube videos and subscribe to my videos, and I'll be happy to provide more videos in the near future. Until we see in our next class, take care.